What happens when everything you've been taught about helping others no longer feels right? For Dr. Avi Charlton, unlearning medicine wasn't rebellion, it was essential. This is a story of a doctor who dared to listen to her second voice and prescribed a new way to heal. Welcome to the Second Voice podcast, where we uncover the voices that leaders and entrepreneurs don't say out loud. I'm your host, Louisa Hogan, and today we're exploring what it takes to question the very system that has shaped you and how you can find freedom on the other side. My guest is Dr. Avi Charlton, who's a GP, a speaker, a best-selling author, a podcast host, and a thought leader in lifestyle medicine. She's incredible. I've met her many years ago and she's amazing. She's also the founder of the Melbourne Low-Carb Clinic and Breathe in Health, where she helps people reverse chronic conditions and improve well-being through nutrition, functional breathing, and lifestyle interventions. She's a passionate advocate for empowering individuals to take charge of their health, and she shares her expertise on stage, in the media, through her best-selling book, because she's not a high achiever already. The book is called Prescribing Lifestyle, a doctor's prescription to lasting weight loss and vibrant health, and is also a host of the Prescribing Lifestyle podcast. Her work has been recognized nationally, recently receiving an Ozmonpreneur Honorable Mention Award for Wellness Business of the Year, with over 2 decades of experience as a doctor. Dr. Charlton continues to inspire and guide people towards vibrant health, sustainable change, and a future where lifestyle is the first prescription. And Avi, I'm so glad to have connected with you, and I'm so glad that you are joining us on our podcast today, because I think your message is so strong, and I just want to hear what got you to the space. So thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Louisa, for inviting me to your podcast. I love coming on. I love spreading the message, and I love our connection from years and years ago
Yeah.
when you posted me your book, and I was loving reading that book back then.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, I'm glad we found each other again at the Ozmonpreneur Awards, because
Yeah.
I just love that, the progression you've taken, because we connected a long time ago. And the
Mm.
reason why we found each other is through running, and we were
Yes.
both low carb ketogenic runners. So that's how we found each other online, and we had
Yes.
that instant connection. But I'm really interested to hear what's been your journey since then, because at that time you hadn't quite stepped into the space that you're in now. You were doing that personally, I think, or were you already starting on that journey back then?
Yeah, absolutely. So back then I was just my own journey. That could be 7 or 8, 10 years ago. I was discovering my own health, trying to lose weight. What happened was I've been a GP for 20 years. One day a patient had come in to see me. I was writing a prescription and she thought I was pregnant. She asked me if I was having a third baby, and I was thinking, oh my God, I wasn't having a third baby. I was just a little bit chubby, not really looking after myself. So this could be maybe 8 or 9 years ago. And I decided that I'm going to take charge of my own health, join the local gym, which guided me to eat according to their spreadsheet. So I had to weigh up so much protein, so much carbs, and so much fat. And I learned about eating a low carb ketogenic diet and dived into the science and discovered, oh my God, all the things that's been taught in medical school is not quite right. We shouldn't be eating less and moving more to lose weight. We really should be optimizing eating good foods rather than eating less and moving more to starve ourselves. So I learned a bit more about the science and discovered how low carb, eating good food, and eventually led me to all sorts of lifestyle pillars, strength training, stress reduction, optimizing sunlight, making sure you sleep right, community connection, and then eventually a couple of years ago, breath work and functional breathing, how to manage stress and breathe better. So I've gone into a whole lot of rabbit holes, which led me to change from a traditional GP, which I've been practicing for over 10 years and enabled me to raise my 2 boys. And went from a traditional GP to I now call myself a lifestyle GP. Started Melbourne Low-Carb Clinic and started to change from 10-minute in and out consultations as a GP to 45-minute consults, helping patients to be listened to. And I think that's really a game changer because patients want to be heard, and we can work on improving their nutrition, lifestyle, and get to the root cause of why they're feeling not well, and ultimately help them to lose weight, gain health, lead a vibrant life, and even improve lots of chronic conditions like mental health conditions, diabetes, even improve cancer, as well as using all the traditional medicines that we've been taught. So it's amazing, my journey, how
Yeah.
I've come from a normal GP to talking about lifestyle as well as prescribing medications.
Yeah, amazing. I find that so inspiring because I can't imagine what it must have been like for you at the time when you discovered, I love that you went and looked at all the science behind it because that's such a doctor
Yes.
thing to do. But like when you discovered that what you had been taught wasn't maybe, quite the right way to go, like what was going through your mind at the time? Was it disappointment? Was it shock? What were the feelings you were having?
Yeah, it was shocking that what we've been taught isn't quite right, that I've got to unlearn it and learn a different way of practicing.
Hmm.
And it was quite difficult. And some of the talks that I listened to online from reputable doctors that I had to listen to over and over again just to unlearn what's been taught before me and relearn what now I had to learn new science.
Yeah.
So I had to dig up different doctors to listen to and learn from various different sources. So it has been difficult, and I have to change my mindset to be open minded rather than keep looking into the same dogma, which hasn't been helpful for many, many patients.
Yeah. Are you seeing amazing success with your patients now?
Yeah, absolutely. Just by changing their mindset, changing the diet to not eat less, move more, but nourishing. So,
Mhm.
talking about eating good foods rather than eating less and starvation,
Mhm.
and improving their mindset, thinking about we need to heal ourselves, optimize our metabolism, improving mitochondrial health, nourishing our body with food, sleep, strength training, getting outside into the sun, all those things. Even just a few weeks of people doing those things, they feel better, they feel more energy, less bloated, and feel empowered that they can do this,
Yeah.
which isn't quite good as a business model because they get well and then I come back. But I'm very happy that I've made my patients better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to run out of patients, though, unfortunately, because, you just see it everywhere. And even online, even my personal trainer, when I first started with him, he told me off because I do low carb, ketogenic,
Mm,
intermittent, carnivore, and
mhm.
fasting, and I change that all up. But it's always that low carb, same thing that you're saying, outside, fresh air, sunshine,
Yeah.
good food that's nutrient dense, all of that stuff. And even my personal trainer was like, no, like you don't need to um, restrict what you eat when you eat low calorie, which is how you lose weight, because you can
Mm,
eat all of these amazing sugary foods as long as you're within your calorie amount. And I'm like, but then you just feel awful because you're hungry all the time. I just can't think of anything worse. And
yes.
that's what they put out there on social media, that you can do all of these things. And as long as
Mm.
you're in a low calorie and a calorie deficit, you're going to be fine. And it's so sad that's the world that we live in, that's what we're putting out there. So I don't think you're going to run out of patients, to be honest.
Yeah,
You
I
know.
agree. The message is very confusing from different people, and then
Mm,
there's plant-based propaganda,
hmm.
and as you said, all these people promoting low calorie, which just causes starvation and reduced metabolism. And with yo-yo dieting like this, your metabolism, your mitochondria is not going to work properly, and that can help you lose weight in the short term. But the more you do this, the more you get starved. And if you crank up your exercise, eat less, then you're going to reduce metabolism, get more hungry, not satiated, reduce satiety. You get more and more less energy. So it doesn't work in the long
Yeah,
run.
definitely not.
Mm.
Uh, what's been the response from other doctors that you may know? I mean, I'm sure you know other doctors or you've heard from other doctors. What's been the response from them? Because from my personal experience, even on my journey, I found Dr. Mindy Pels, and she's fast like a girl, and all about she does, you know, hormone feasting and fasting and how to eat on a ketogenic, during different peaks in your hormones, because I'm perimenopausal, so I'm trying to help that process. And when I said that
Yes.
to my doctor, she was like, "Oh, that's overrated. You don't need to do that. That's like you don't, And she totally told me basically that it was rubbish and that I shouldn't follow it. But the evidence
Mm,
is compelling to me, and the science is
mm.
compelling because I try to follow the science too. What's been the response on your end? Like, do you get lots of backlash or told that you're wrong, or how does that show up for you?
Yeah, yeah. For the traditional doctors, I have had lots of backlash. Like in social media, I've put up what my thought process was, and in mainstream doctor forums, I put out that intermittent fasting, eat low carb, ketogenic can help with mental health, can do all sorts of things, improve diabetes. And there's some mainstream doctors says it's not sustainable, people can't do it, and they even say you're woo woo. You might as well get some tarot cards to
Oh my god.
and there's no science to it.
Yeah,
So there has been backlash, but there are other doctors that have keep learning, and I have found quite a few supporters, which has been great. And I
yeah,
think more and more doctors are learning this way. Yeah,
yeah,
hopefully with ground forces, we
yeah.
try to spread the message and more people take it up.
Yeah. I mean, even my husband, I got him onto low carb and he lost so much weight, so much healthier, started running, all of that sort of thing. And he told his doctor about it. He's like, you've got to tell all your patients about this. And she totally wrote him off.
Oh
It's so sad,
no,
so
it
sad. But
is.
we keep doing what we do. I mean, for you, this is a podcast about self talk. So when you get backlash like that from your peers, um, what keeps you going? What stops you from doubting? What stops you from showing up? Or keeps you showing up rather?
Yeah, I think the message is right. I'm just going to keep talking about it. Doesn't matter what other people say. I've got lots of evidence. My patients are improving. They're losing weight. They're getting off their diabetes drugs,
Yeah,
reducing their insulin. They're improving on their mental health. And there's other doctors which are doing similar work than me. They are having similar results, and I have my own tribe, my own community. So I'm just going to keep promoting it
yeah,
and keep spreading the message.
for sure. Yeah, I mean, I found my way onto it just through my family's got a history of type 2 diabetes, great
Mm,
grandparents, parents, my brother. So I was determined I was not going to become a type 2 diabetic. So that's how I found it. My
yeah.
brother is ketogenic low carb. He came off his insulin completely. He doesn't take
Oh,
insulin at all.
wow.
So,
Great.
if evidence like that to me, and it's and sustainable, we've been both doing it now for 15 years.
Mm,
So people who say it's not sustainable, and look, personally, I don't know if it is for everybody. So
hmm.
I'm not on this podcast to say like be like me, but talking to you is important
Yes.
because I feel like people can hear evidence and
That's,
understand that it is
yep.
a growing consensus out there that it actually is very beneficial to your health.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the sustainability depends on your mindset.
Yeah.
So if you believe it's sustainable and you keep doing it and you've made it become a habit, then it is sustainable for you. But if there's certainly some people who have carb cravings, sugar cravings, and then they slip, and the whole environment is so carb heavy with lots of marketing, different messages, and it's quite difficult. So maybe you've been influenced by the mainstream marketing, and that's certainly understandable. So that makes that person not sustainable. It's not because of of that diet is not sustainable. It's because of the mindset and the society influences.
Yeah, I love that. It's environment's not set up to help. This the system is broken, really. And again,
That's
like I
right.
said, mainstream doctors don't even support you if that's the journey you want to take and you tell them about it. They don't even support you with it. In fact, sometimes tell you not to go and do it. So
Yes.
um, yeah, for me personally, it's if it doesn't feel right, you don't have to listen to that doctor. You can go to another doctor, right? So
Yes.
that's always my gut instinct. So for you, has this whole process? I mean, how long has it taken you to transition from that mainstream traditional GP work to where you are now? Has it taken a few years to open your clinic and get it going?
Yeah, it has.
Yeah.
I think about 7 or 8 years ago, I started this journey, and about 5 or 6 years ago, I actively promoted in my normal general practice. So I was still 10 minute in and out, bulk billing GP, which sees patients very, very quickly. So I was doing that for maybe a couple of years, and I found lots of patients that come to see me from all over Australia because I listed my name through Low-Carb Down Under website. People come in, look for me, and they haven't been supported by their own doctors, and I was still a normal mainstream doctor. 3 years ago, 2022, I woke up one morning and I decided that I'm going to start my own clinic because 10-minute consultation isn't enough. And I, I don't want to be bulk billing and 10-minute in and out like a supermarket
Yeah.
train. So I woke up one day on a Sunday morning. I told my husband sleeping next to me and said, I'm going to start my own low carb clinic. And I kept brainstorming with my close friends. And eventually I came up with a business model that I'm just going to start in the usual clinic that I work in Wantirna in Melbourne. I talked to the boss, and the boss said, yeah, all right, we'll support you. So I had a room decorated in my usual clinic, and I started 45-minute consults, private billing, so $300 for a consultation. People paying actually makes them more committed to
Mhm.
this process because they've paid, they've committed, they want to do the changes. Then I see them, I organize blood tests, give them a plan, and I see them again maybe 3 or 4 weeks later, and they have lost a couple of kilos. They feel less bloated, more energy, and it's so rewarding that just by changing the practice a bit, and eventually over the 3 years, I've evolved lots of things. I've written a book called Low Carb Down Under first, which has got pictures and sample meal plans and recipes. And then I've started a podcast last year, which has helped me with interviewing other professionals, and I can learn from them. And then this year, I've written my book called Prescribing Lifestyle. So, all that through the journey and becoming a speaker, that's all been an amazing journey so far.
So, did you have any doubts or in that process because you were going through business planning, setting that all up? Were there any moments of self doubt or any moments where you thought this is not going to work, or were you from that moment you woke up saying I'm going to start my clinic 100% sure you just went for it?
Well, certainly there's self doubts because I've gone from a normal GP, just practicing, going to the clinic, in and out, practice medicine, to a learning about business, which is a whole new world to me. So I had to learn about marketing, getting visibility, getting myself out on social media a bit more, and email marketing, creating lots of posts. So it's a whole different world learning about marketing rather than medicine. So, and then I learned about podcasting, learning about hiring a virtual assistant in the Philippines, which has helped me heaps.
Yeah.
So it's a whole new world, which
Yeah.
has been totally rewarding. And I learned to become a speaker, learning about how to use my words better and not ums and ahs. And
Yeah.
yeah, It's
Yeah.
been an amazing journey and connecting with lots of people, which is one of the best things about having a business is getting lots of new connections and working with a whole lot of people in the same mindset.
Yeah. So rewarding. And it's been so lovely watching you go through that, or reconnecting with you rather, and seeing you have gone through that evolution, because it's such a great opportunity for you. And it's so good that you haven't allowed those things that you weren't sure of before to hold you back. Because I think some people, you've become you're a doctor, but you're also an entrepreneur now.
Yes.
And I think that's amazing. I think for some people who are starting or thinking about starting new businesses, and maybe even who have, like you, had this career and learning that they've had through this whole time, and now need to change that, and they feel convicted by it and need to start their own business.
Yeah.
Hearing your story would be really reassuring, because you can learn all of those things. All of those things come to you, and sometimes you learn by failing, right? You learn something new, it doesn't work, you try again, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I've totally enjoyed my journey and connecting with people. There's courses that I've bought and it has no use at all.
Yeah,
and
I'm there
then
with you.
and then there's other people trying to pitch to me to try and sell the services, the different course that they want me to buy.
Yeah. Do you
But
get pitched to promote products now as well? Do you get pitched to promote products?
yes, I do.
Oh
Yes, there's
wow.
some products I really like to promote, but then
Yeah.
there's some products that's just no, I'm not supporting it. Sorry.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah, I see stuff out there. I always laugh at the keto bar or low carb, and then you pick it up and it's definitely not low carb or ketogenic bar. You pick them up, or, products out there that they sell. I just find some of them they label them one thing, but they're not. It's a bit discouraging too.
Yeah, absolutely. They're just processed foods. So
Yeah.
eating real foods is the key
It's
for,
the key.
yes.
Yeah. So for you, what's next for you? What is you've got this prescribing lifestyle model that you've created.
Yeah.
What's next for you? What is that evolving to, or are you happy to keep pursuing the way you're going and see what comes? What's next?
Yeah. I've progressed from one location a couple of years ago to 5 locations. So now I spread myself out over a 4 week cycle to 5 different locations, consulting in different areas of Melbourne. And I'm very happy with it because I'm meeting different demographics and help serving patients in different areas of Melbourne. And what I'm hoping to do is speak more and work on my speaking business because I think 1-to-1 is great and I'm seeing lots of patients and helping them with their journey. But 1-to-many is even more powerful. And if I can get into speaking business, speak to corporates and help their workforce function better with looking after their nutrition and lifestyle, and my teenagers will eventually, in the next few years, not rely on me as taxi driver. So I'm hoping I can be speaking and traveling at the same time.
Yeah,
Then I can get my travel bug going as well as venture out into speaking business. So that's my next step. But I'm very
amazing.
happy with how I'm going and I'm totally enjoying the journey so far.
I think you're going to impact so many people, and I love that you want to help more people with this. It's fantastic. If somebody's watching this and they feel like they've outgrown their old frameworks, what advice do you have for them so that they can bring out their own process of relearning or change without fear? You seem so fearless. You seem so confident and fearless. What tips can you give to others who may be facing a similar challenge?
Yeah, I think just be curious and keep learning. If you keep digging into different rabbit holes, you will learn more about your lifestyle, learn how to improve your health. And if it's a business type of mindset, then you can keep learning how to find your own way on what your occupation or job can give you, and maybe you can develop different type of businesses that you might come across. So the thing that I'm fearful of is burning myself out. So I'm just going to pace myself and enjoy the journey and don't dip into too much of each rabbit hole and take it easy as well.
Mhm.
So certainly I'm fearless, but I have to take my own pace and
Yeah.
rather
Yeah.
than burn myself out.
Yeah.
So
It's
yeah,
easy
be
to do.
curious. That's right.
Yeah. When you're passionate about something, and I'm right there with you in this one. When you're passionate about something, you do go down these little rabbit holes and you chase things because you feel so passionate and it's exciting. And then you've got this other opportunity and that's exciting. And so it is
Yes.
easy when you find that peace and intuition that this is the right thing for me. It is so easy just to do more and more and more and more and burn yourself
Yes.
out. So that's wonderful advice. And I think it's something
Yes.
that I need to hear even sometimes. Like
Yes.
slow down a little bit and just enjoy the ride too.
That's right. Yes. And it's
Yeah.
okay to have a rest. Like if you take a day off, go walking into the bush,
Yeah.
go do some running or just do nothing on the couch. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Are you still running?
I am still running, but not quite as far as I used to be, like
Yeah.
3 kilometers, 5 kilometers. I'm
Yeah.
still getting out there three
Yeah.
times a week.
That's what feels good. To just be out in the sunshine, I think. Sometime I'm not training for anything at the moment, so I'm also the same. 4K, 5K, just enjoy the sunshine, right?
That's right. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
even not bringing AirPods anymore.
Yeah.
Rather
Yeah.
than listening to podcasts nonstop, I'm just enjoying
The
whatever's out there.
birds.
That's
Yeah.
right.
I started doing that when I was running with my pram. My daughter was born. And so I
Okay.
started pushing her in the pram.
Yes.
And because I was doing that, I couldn't put headphones in anymore because I had to
Mm,
listen out for her if she needed me, if she wanted something. And it was
yeah.
a game changer. I was like, wow, actually running without music in the ears is wonderful. It's so nice.
Yeah.
So
Be
good.
more mindful as well. Quiet the
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah, it's wonderful. So now I don't run with headphones in either and enjoy the birds and the sound of the trees. It's excellent. Really helps with
Yes.
business decisions too, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
More things pop up in the mind.
Yeah. So, any final tips for anybody listening to this around mindset, self talk, doubts, anything, any final tips that you have for anybody listening?
I think it's just being curious, keep learning, know what suits you. You are your own boss, and keep looking into each rabbit hole. If it doesn't feel right, then don't do it. Trust your intuition and you'll find your own journey.
Brilliant. I think I think you've been really brave. Do you think you're brave?
Yeah, I think so.
I think you're brave. I think you're
Thank
brave, but
you.
also really inspiring. So thank you.
Thank you, Louisa.
I think your work's amazing. Where can people find you if they want to connect with you? And you've mentioned your podcast. They can come listen to you on your podcast, and I recommend it. I've listened to a few episodes of Avi's podcast, and it's wonderful. She brings in some amazing guests, talks about all sorts of things. So I suggest you listen to it. But where else can they find you if they want to connect with you?
Yeah, thank you. My podcast is called Prescribing Lifestyle. My clinic website is called Melbourne Low-Carb Clinic. So they can go on my website, mlcclinic.com.au. And I'm very active on social media, Facebook, Instagram, with Dr. Charlton Lifestyle GP as a handle. I'm also on LinkedIn, Dr. Avi Charlton. I'm on YouTube, Dr. Avi Charlton. And you can buy my book on my website called Prescribing Lifestyle. And I've got a picture book called Low Carb Made Easy as well, which has some sample meal plans and some recipes, which makes it easier for people to try low carb ketogenic diet.
Amazing. Thank you. Well, I recommend everyone go check that out, not only for your own lifestyle and your own lifestyle prescription, but also because AV is just such a perfect example of being brave. You aren't stuck. You're never stuck. And you don't have to get stuck in one dogma and believe that that's where you are for the rest of your life. If you find something that lights you up or that is compelling for you to look into, Avi is just a clear example of how you can do that, and you can do that bravely, and you don't doubt yourself because you can, just like Avi, wake up one day and go, nope, I'm going to do this thing and I'm going to make it happen. And you land up being a best-selling author, an award winner, and a podcaster in the same breath. So incredibly inspiring. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing where you go with everything, Avi, and looking forward to seeing everyone else on the podcast next time. So thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Louisa, for inviting me on your podcast. And I wish you all the best with your ventures as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Take care. See you everyone at the next episode. Bye.